Alright, contrary to what you might have heard in the last video, I do still have plenty of footage waiting to be uploaded. And we're going to look at two different runs today that both kind of take advantage, and I say take advantage in inverted commas, of a synergy that really doesn't help your team at all. Or at least it would be better if you just didn't go for this synergy. But it's a synergy nonetheless, and so we're going to try and make something happen with it. Now, I've had many suggestions in the past where people have asked for something like this. Not this specifically, but people are always asking for something where you're deliberately ruining your own team and yet you still win. Now, I have kind of done stuff like that in the past, although it tends to be fairly low key, like playing shark at the front or giraffe at the front. We've definitely done stuff like that in the past. But can we actually come up with a synergy where technically the pets work together, but the team would be a lot better if we just didn't bother? So in order to do that, we're going to take advantage of Barghest's ability. Now, I don't normally keep tier 1s for a long time, but in this particular game, we're going to have to keep the Barghest all the way to the end. So Barghest applies Spooked to opposing pets, which means they take 1 extra damage. However, it only does it if they don't have a perk. So if the backmost unit has a perk, the Barghest will skip over it and give Spooked to other pets on the opposing team. And if they have perks on every single unit, the Barghest does absolutely nothing. So what I want to do here is try and guarantee that the Barghest ability goes off, regardless of whether or not they have a full team of perks. And clearly the further we go into the game, the more likely it is that opposing teams are going to have perks on every single unit. And the way we can deal with that is by having a red dragon which goes before the Barghest, applies Crisp, which means that the unit at the back will have no perk, because having an ailment does not count as having a perk, and therefore the Barghest ability will work every single time. Of course, Crisp is vastly superior to Spooked, but that's the entire point of this exercise. And so we're going to try and win by applying Crisp to 3 units and then having the Barghest overwrite the Crisp on everything. So we've got a pretty good setup going already. We've got the level 3 Barghest. We still have 5 hearts, which we're definitely going to need if we're going to be able to win playing this absolutely terrible combo. And I'm going to take the level up on the Tropical Fish. We can also take Hammerhead Shark here because I have the level 3 tier 1. It's very rare that I take Hammerhead Shark precisely because of this reason. But now we're going to see the combo working. So there we go. The Crisp gets applied to the Ostrich and then it gets overwritten by the Barghest. I think we're going to lose here anyway. Yep. Yet another Ostrich Hamster team. They're going to be an absolute nightmare because they've got level 3 Swan as well. And now I'm just going to try and race to get the Red Dragon leveled up. Of course, we're not completely losing out on the benefit of the Crisp because the Crisp guarantees that we're removing equipment, whereas the Barghest by itself doesn't guarantee that at all. So yeah, there is definitely still a benefit here. It just doesn't make any sense to keep the Barghest. You should just get rid of it. So we're going to take some summoning pets to try and also take advantage of the fact that the opposing units are going to have ailments, although it's going to be very minimal damage that we're doing. And there you can see, yeah, we're now wasting 2 Crisps, and unfortunately we end up playing this extremely dull Turtle Pack only team with the double tier 1 and stat bash. I guess maybe because we have a level 3 tier 1 of our own, we're more likely to match with that team. I don't know. There's been a lot of discussion recently about the matchmaking and whether or not it's dependent on which pets you have on your team or which pets you have in your pack. I would love to know one way or the other. But for now, yeah, we're going to sell the Hammerhead because the gold I don't think is really going to help us much. Yeah, we need to try and tempo out right now. Otherwise, we're going to end up in a situation where we're just never going to be able to beat any late game teams. So we take Fly and the Yggdrasil fruit just for some more summons. And actually this is looking quite promising, even though they're going to farm some stats from the Triceratops. Each pig here and Fly does extra damage. So yeah, we're definitely going to win. and that puts us on 8. So we only need a couple more wins, and it's GG. I think this was maybe the second or third attempt I had at this, and I just couldn't believe how well it was going. I guess it's partly because Barghest is such a strong tier 1 that you often just don't lose any of the early turns, and so you can get to the point where you have a chance at winning much more easily than some of the other builds I tend to go for. Unfortunately here it's another monkey one big unit team, so we're definitely going to lose again. Even though the Badger ends up knocking out the Highland Cow there. Take level 2 Fly, level 2 Wolf. This is kind of a bizarre team to still be alive at this stage of the game, but yeah, it looks like I was thinking about replacing the Cherry there. Yeah, I'd rather just get level 3 Red Dragon just for maximum effect. And then here's someone doing the extremely lame strategy with the Nessie recycling. This is something that didn't used to exist before, but Nessie boat was changed to be tier 5, which means that you can farm Nessie boats 1 per turn and then compete to them into tier 6s. So yeah, thankfully there we faced that team before they'd really got things going. Hopefully that gets patched out soon. But it was a very fortunate matchup in this particular instance. So now we're on 9 wins. We have 2 hearts still. I think I'm contemplating Snake here. Yeah, that would probably be better than the Porcupine. Massive Owl plus Manta Ray team. Yeah, is this worse than the build that we just faced? I'm not sure. I think probably it is, because there's a decided lack of creativity compared to the previous team. But we are going to be able to eke out a draw here. However, every draw in this particular squad is kind of like a loss, because it's pushing us further and further into the late game, and there just aren't going to be weak teams beyond a certain point. So we're going to take the Snake with the very low 5 health and hope that it works out. We at least get 2 snipes. They actually have a Vampire Bat, unfortunately, with Flea, so we instantly lose. Actually, this is Vulture Guy not playing Vulture. I guess maybe they should be renamed Flea Guy, because I've seen them a few times recently playing other summon support units in the backline and not Vulture. Okay, so what do we do now? Yeah, okay, we'll just take the Stake. We have to hope for the absolute best here. And this kind of looks like it could be winnable. I mean, it's one big unit again with multiple Amargasaurus. The fact that we only have Spooked instead of, weakness from the Flea definitely makes a huge difference. And yeah, I think you can clearly see that we're not going to make it. Not too far off getting a tie there. Maybe the Snake snipes mattered, I don't know. But that was super frustrating, thinking that I was going to get it almost at the first attempt, and it just didn't pan out. So on to plan B. And what we're going to do this time is go for actually getting some kind of material benefit from the 6 ailment applications, or maybe it won't be 6, it might only be 5 if we don't get the higher level Red Dragon. But we're going to try and get some benefit out of guaranteeing that we're actually getting ailment activations on Mothman. So you can see it's already quite strong. That was actually Yogru again there, so kind of fitting. But I think I'm going to go for double Mothman, or maybe I end up combining them. I can't remember. I had quite a few attempts at this. Again, even though there is legitimate synergy going on, this is not a good team. And so we need to get quite lucky for this to work out. Frill Dragon, kind of similar to Barghest in that it's extremely good for winning a lot of early turns as long as you get the right starting shops. And they are going to beat us here, so 2 teams on 5 hearts, and we end up coming out of that with a loss. So level 2 Stoat gives us BFB, And there is actually another cherry in the shop. You can see I've already given the Barghest cherry, and that's because I was specifically trying to get melon slice just for a bit of variety. And with the Mothman ability, it does mean that actually we should get a lot of value out of the stats that we've accrued via the ailment applications. So yeah, very comfortable in there. Unfortunately, having put the melon slice onto the first Mothman, I should have actually done it the other way around, because now we have to buy another. Yeah, there we go. We have to buy another cherry in order to activate the melon slice a second time. So yeah, we put the cherry on the BFB to make sure that we've got 4 trumpets for the next few turns. Parrot plus level 2 Nyala, or Parrot becoming a level 2 Nyala rather. And then look at that, they end up getting Mara from the summon. And they summon, what was that, a 30-something doggo, which then gets extra buffs from the flying fish on turn 8. That was pretty nasty. So we're just looking now for the red dragon. Flytrap's not going to help us because we lost. I actually would like a level 3 Barghest as well. Although we might have to settle for just level 2. I can't remember exactly what happens in this run. Yeah, I think here I'm contemplating another cherry because I'm about to replace the cherry on the Barghest. But we're going to have to combine the Mothman, I think, anyway. And look at this, double chocolate with flounder. Incredible. Kind of an unusual looking team here. You don't see many teams playing Isopod. It has actually been fixed. It was bugged, but it ended up getting a patch in one of the recent updates. And I think we're going to win there regardless of whether or not we got the melon slice from the BFB. So we can combine Mothman. I think ideally here I would already have Red Dragon so that I can get the level 2 Red Dragon with the Flounder, but we're just going to go for upgrading both Mothmen. And yeah, we don't get, of course it's level, of course Red Dragon is tier 5, so we can't get it on the level up, but we can take Tiger behind Mothman. Now Tiger works on pets that have trigger limits, so you can see the Mothman at the front, although it does have a trigger limit, it will end up activating 10 times if we can get it to, if we can get 5 ailment applications. So there's Red Dragon. We also get the Barghest. So yeah, we'll take Red Dragon now. And we're actually kind of winning too quickly here. I really need the Red Dragon to have higher attack than the Barghest. I think we're probably going to lose in this particular run, yeah. It's very rare where I end up matching against Nurikabe on, like, you know, turns 9 to 12 and I don't lose. It's just one of those things. So I'm going to freeze the cotton candy or the candy floss to try and make sure that the Red Dragon goes first. At the moment we're still getting benefit from the crisp because it's going after Barghest. I think this team actually had perks on everything, so the Barghest didn't do a single thing. But yeah, now that puts us on 9 and we still haven't got this set up. So even though we're deliberately trying to go for a weaker squad, it's not working. I actually could have had churros, I guess. Although a lot of the time I was trying to use gingerbread to get the Red Dragon to level 2 straight away. And then look at this, what is going on here? This team is greedily buffing the Albatross with the Monkey, and therefore the Dolphin doesn't get any damage boost. And we actually end up winning before we get the chance to have the higher level Red Dragon. So we were only applying 3 ailments there, and yet the double Mothman team still got the victory.